So here we have what could potentially be the heart of the Monaro, if it fits. So, as some of you would have seen, I put an engine, or didn't, it's not fitted, but it's sitting in the engine bay, into the old girl. You might be wondering what it is. Yes, it's diesel. Yes, it's 4 cylinders. And yes, it's turboed. But not that turbo that was in the picture. That was just an old Caterpillar turbo I had sitting on the shelf. But I thought it'd be a laugh to sit it there. So here it is. So essentially, it's a Isuzu 4JJ1 engine. So that's what comes out in the Colorados and the D-Max and all that hoo-ha, the 3-litre one. Yeah, the reason why I'm going to try and hopefully get this in here is, one, power. They're getting great power out of these engines, and with relatively 0 to no mods. Basically the turbo off the industrial motor and like commercial motor, and a set of 30 plus injectors, and I think they're getting something like 300 wheel kilowatts out of them, and that's unreal. Yes, you can do it with a 308, but that's a lot of money, and that's V8 rego, that's V8 fuel, that's a low diff gear or high diff gear, depends what you want to call it, to make it really get up and boogie. Whereas this thing, I'll have all that power and like 800 odd newton meters of torque at the wheels, so I can run like a 3.0 or a 292 diff gear and be able to cruise this thing every day on the highway, friggin' 1800 RPM, not flogging the piss out of a 308 at 4000 with a 444 diff gear or something. Yeah, 5-speed. Yeah, just all win-win all round. The only thing is, obviously I've got to try and find an engineer or go, no worries buddy, do this, 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 or nah, that's rubbish, get it out of there, what were you thinking? Just trying to do a little bit of out of the box thinking, because I've never seen one of these engines in a muscle car, and I love diesel power. Like, I've got a ridiculous amount of money invested in that old purple truck that just sits around doing nothing anymore. Yeah, and it was just a beast to drive. Like, you plant your foot in that thing and you'll pick that passenger side front wheel up off the ground. Just awesome fun, awesome fun. Once you've tasted diesel power, yeah, nothing to it. But in saying that, I've never actually been in a big block car. So failing this, who knows? She might just be a 4-speed big block, but then I'll just blend in with the crowd, and well, that's no fun. But anyway, we'll see. So the big issues with this will be, to get the engine sitting where I want it to sit, I'll have to notch the cross member quite significantly and put the front steering rack conversion in. So what I got to see the engineer about is, if I'm allowed to do that, put some pipe work in there, brace it all up, take that top section that I've cut out and just like trim it back off and drop it back in there, so it'll be all braced on the internal part of the cane cross member and then capped back off again with steel, so it'll all be stronger, if not, yeah, the same strength, if not stronger, but whether or not they say yes or no to that, well, I guess I'll find out, because there's issues with welding to that sort of stuff, I think. Another issue I will face is a tunnel modification. I'll need to clearance this a little bit more with a hammer, and the brace that comes over, I've got to see what they will say about that, whether I can plate it back here and join it back up, or if they say no deal buddy, get your piece of shit out of here. Yeah, but it'll all come down to who I get and whether or not he looks at me and goes, no way. But anyway, that is what my plans are. A lot of people are probably going, you idiot, get that thing out of there, put a 308 or a Chevy back in it. But other than that, I think it's going to be wicked. I will have to give a shout out to my mate Fester at Mindanao 4x4 Parts for letting us borrow this engine and box to test fit it and everything. Yeah, I spend a fair bit of money there, so it's always good to see him helping me out. So good deeds follow good people, so it's always nice. Yeah, they were a big help when I was building that truck too, getting a whole bunch of parts off them guys. Yeah, so what to do? I'm about to just try and make some engine mounts, fit it. So that's just the factory Holden mount, which will tear in half in about 2 seconds. But I just want to get it all sitting in there, bolt it up, then I can get an engineer out and say, look, this is what I want, this is roughly how it'll be, tell me yes, no, what needs to be done, and so on. There we go, back to a bare engine bay. You can see how much I had to cut out of that cross member. So what the original plan was to weld some steel across, brace it across, and then brace it back to stiffen it all up. The fellow who came around to look at it was pretty happy with that, but then I thought, you know what, I need to make the front rack and do all this other hoo-ha. So I made some phone calls, then got onto this fella down south who makes a bolt-in rack, which gives me more clearance, already has the front mounted power steering, better brakes, all that. Yeah, so I'm just going to go that way. Saves me having some butchered cross member. I'll have a mint one, purpose built kind of thing. It will be a little bit. So it was 4,750 for the cross member and that, and then another 580 for the power rack and everything. But the thing is, that's done, bolt in, good to go. Whereas this front end, I'd have to brace it all, get the rack, build the mounts, redo all the bushings, bushes and stuff, do the, yeah. So by the time you do all that, carry on, you know, you've spent a fair bit of money and you've still got an old shit front end. So I may as well get a good one from the get-go. Yeah, so just going to take the engine back. Yeah, that was a big help. Can't thank Fester enough for helping out with that. That's Minden 4x4. Yeah, holy smoke. Lets me know my dream is going to come true. Woo! Oh well, I'll take this back and then come back, and I guess I'll keep doing what I can do. And down that end, take this front end off, clean all it up. But I'm be going back to work shortly, so I don't think I will actually get anything done. Just a bunch of talking, basically. Yeah. Go out to work, talk to Jono about all the different ways we can go about getting this project completed. Hopefully he gets his videos sorted as well. He's potentially going to be doing a video on the old Mike Vine turbo setup on a old 308. Should be pretty good. If he gets it done, I don't know, put a link in somewhere at some stage. Alright then, till next time.